Knights Academy. Training's in session.
Hello, humans. No. Put away your weapons. I'm a friendly goblins. My name is Snib. We have something in common here. Hear me out. Dragons they eats the humans and they eats the goblins. I'm here to help kill the dragons. But I'm not here for that right now. That what you're cooking right there on the fire smells really good. Could Snib has some, please? Snib will tell you his story. Thank you, humans. All right. So Snib's story. That's really good, mate. You do a good job cooking that. Snib's story. See, I was part of a large clan of goblins, as most goblins are, and most humans see us being evil. I understands it, since, back then I used to raids the farms and stuff, trying not to kill people's, but I'd take chickens and wheats and anything shiny I could find, Well, I was out doing a scouting mission without any other goblins, trying to find a new place to raid, when the dragon attacked my village. I don't know what type of dragons it was. All I know was the whole village was burned down when Snib got back. My heart weighed heavy for a while, till I started seeing them. You see, I saw the villagers, all of my clan. They were all right there for Snibs. They all came up and they all said, "It's okay, Snibs. We're here with you, and we're gonna make this right." Each one of the goblins all hugged me. I could feel them in the hearts of hearts. I still feel them. They're with me now, and since this point, Snibs has had new abilities. Snibs has had really good new abilities. They're very interesting things here. There is. Oh, I could show you, but it's just the way Snibs is now. It's a gift from me clan, so that I can get vengeance. Kill all the dragons that threatens the peoples, humans and goblins alike. See, we could be friends, you and I. We both have the enemy. And what's that saying you humans like to use? The enemy of my enemies is my friend. I think that means we could be friends, yes? Hello, trainee.
Hello, trainees, and welcome to another edition of Character Creation. Today I'm going to be designing and showing you how I made the character Snib, who you heard the backstory for just now. Now, this character is very close, near and dear to my heart. I've had him in several different games, and I wanted to share him with you guys, as well as a Dropbox below if you want to add him in your game using the stats and everything that I'm going to show you here. Now, this character is different in a lot of ways, and I wanted to make something that was very unique and not seen before, really, in D&D, at least not by me. Now, this character is kind of inspired from a whole bunch of different places. First, the flavor of this character, I would like to say, is inspired a lot by Dawnforgedcast. He had a episode, which I will link below as well, that had to do with a goblin who was haunted. And I thought that was just brilliant. And so part of that concept came into Snib eventually, although this is like the 6th iteration of Snib, and the first one that was haunted. He actually manifests his psionic powers with spectral images around him, as the goblins of his tribe actually give him the abilities he has, which is the psionics, not seen normally in a goblin. Now, psionics is one of those beautiful things, the mystic class, It is so versatile, and there is so many things you can do with it that it's almost hard to wrap your head around everything you can do. So I'm using very finite points of this specifically to achieve the concept I'm going for, which is kind of a walk-fu / nightcrawler thing. He can teleport around a bit, but he doesn't wear armor, so I went with the Immortal. The Mystic Immortal. Now, to start off with the build, though, he does take 1 level of Fighter. That is his base level. And he has the Outlander, although it is modified. He doesn't have a musical instrument. Instead, he has Herbalism kit, because it just made more sense for a hunter, forager, everything. And I like Herbalism kits. The Mystic part, like I said, I go Immortal. It gives him more hit points, gives him the AC, and allows him to actually get involved in melee combat without an issue. Now, with Fighter, I put down on there Mariner. That is not hard fast. Nothing in this character is hard set. If you want to go with more damage, go with dueling or dual wielding, because you can dual wield and still cast psionics. Dueling will be better later levels. Dual wielding is better early levels. It depends on how far your campaign's going. Mariner, I just like the concept of him being a teleporting, climbing, swimming little hard to get bastard. And AC is a great thing when you're going to be involved in melee combat as much as he is. The hit point pool for a level 3 is actually pretty decent, considering he has a D8, and then with Immortal you get an additional 1. He has a 16 con for that. Being in there, goblins just, they get that little bonus to it, so it's really nice. I'm going to just kind of skip through a couple of these leveling parts just to get a feel here for some of it real fast. This is the level 3, and I do have level 2 through 12 in the Dropbox, as well as a picture and the text file with the information for his powers. Alright, so his 5th level here, he jumps up. I'm putting straight into Dex, because, like I said, I'm focusing on his melee. Even though it's not the most optimized, I think it's going to be quite a bit of fun to be able to play this character this way. So he will be teleporting in using a scimitar or 2 scimitars or a rapier or whatever weapon he has that's best. If he can get his hands on like a sunblade, awesome. Or any type of rapier that's going to be good. Eventually this character does want a headband of intellect. I have listed over there. This will give him the HP boost that he needs for his temporary hit points. Now, I love the 3rd level ability from the Immortal, where every round you generate your intelligence modifier and temporary hit points. It basically is a DR for the first hit, minusing 4. And the rest goes over to your normal hit points, but then you use the psionic ability and you heal up because of mystic recovery. Or mystical recovery, sorry. Now, one of the reasons I stopped on the 5th level one here, though, is the Strength of Mind. Strength of Mind is a very interesting one, because according to the rule, it's based off of the wisdom being able to change it around to other secondary stats. You'd have to talk to your DM, but since you did not start Mystic, you don't get a wisdom bonus. Hopefully the DM will allow you to change strength to either, or not, sorry, wisdom, intelligence. Would be able to change it from strength, intelligence, or charisma saving throws, which are the secondary ones and not commonly seen. Although, truthfully, strength is probably going to be one of the ones you're wanting to keep it in. The skills I went with for him, animal handling, I just kind of figured, I don't know, that was kind of a throwaway stat. It doesn't matter what you put it in. He has athletics from his background as well as survival. Being a forager, survival made a lot of sense. And athletics is, well, going to help offset his extremely, extremely low strength. I did give him perception, and like I said, you get one more skill. You can put in pretty much whatever. Insight's probably a better choice than animal handling, but I figured Snibs is like little furry creatures. Kind of figured it'd be a fun little roleplay aspect. Now, the points I do have here are all a 27 point by standard. So that is where this comes from. If you roll or use a standard array, it is going to be slightly different laid out, but as close as you can to that. Telepathy is a great ability. Depending on the DM, you can talk back and forth or just put words in their mind. Either way, it is still really good and very helpful for a stealth-based character. Snib might not be stealth-based, but he does have a lot of things. And I just realized I did not save that there, like that. I better save that. Okay. Because he has a 4 modifier there, not a 5. Or 3. That's going to be wrong on all these. I'll have to change it. Now, 12th level is really the highest I went with this because most games, again, are always ended by about 10 to 12. If you want to keep going with it, honestly, going Mystic continuing or going back in a Fighter even would work really well for a concept. The reason I wanted to get up to 12th level, though, in Mystic, Mystic with the 1 level of Fighter, is for Psionic Mastery. Psionic Mastery is a fantastic ability that lets you put additional points into 2 different things and concentrations to buff yourself. It is stupidly awesome and helps make up for the fact that you stop getting a lot of psionic points after a level 11. It's their way of buffing without buffing, basically. And it is just, it's fantastic. After that, honestly, I want 1 or maybe 2 times a use a day of that, and then going into Fighter to go Martial Adept would probably be a really good one, just because it is very powerful. The other thing is, on here, you get the Surge of Health. I don't really like Surge of Health. It's not the greatest ability, in my opinion. Very useful, rather than dying, but, you know, it's there. Potent Psionics. I love this ability, and I wish, honestly, all the clerics had this wording of it, because it gives you the additional damage die on your melee attack, and it lets you put the intelligence into your psionic talents, which you only get 4 ever as a Mystic. It's not a lot, and I'll go into which ones I have for Snib in a minute. And Consumptive Power, I actually don't recall what that ability is, but it is the level 10 ability, and it is very useful. I do remember that. I just cannot remember what exactly it does right off the top of my head. I'll have to look that up. Alright, so we have the talents. I put Light Step, Mind Thrust, Blind Spot, and Mystic Hand as he levels if he goes past level 10. The last one, I don't really think it's needed. Like I said, everything I'm doing here is trying to adapt to his melee combat, to his its buffing. I'm trying not to use damaging type spells with this thing. I want him to have a very quick, agile feeling to him. So Light Step gives him a quicker movement speed by just the use of a bonus action. The Mind Thrust, that does give him a ranged attack. I do have to admit that one is almost too good to pass up, because, what is it, a D10 or a D12 damage based off of intelligence saving throw? No monsters have that, pretty much. It's an easy, quick damage at a good range, but it's a backup ability he'd prefer to get in with his swords. And Blind Spot just lets him sneak around better if he wants. Now, let's see. We got the disciplines. Alright. The disciplines Snib knows by Mystic level. Like I said, I want to augment his melee abilities as much as possible. So starting off with the 3 basic ones he starts off with: Nomadic Step, Adaptive Body, and Giant's Growth. Alright. Adaptive Body lets you do all kinds of things like surviving in colder environments, and if you get hit with an elemental spell, you can absorb part of it, aka gain resistance to the elemental type, which is extremely useful for surviving. And the focus is the reason I wanted Adaptive Body the most. It allows him to not have to eat, breathe, drink, or sleep. And in fact, instead of sleeping for a light rest, or for a full rest, he can just do light activity still. So he can still mill about the camp or whatever he wants. So taking watches all night is a fantastic thing he can do. So that's just kind of a unique thing for him, so that he can focus all of his energy on fighting the dragons. Giant's Growth. Tiny little goblin teleports in, becomes a large-sized creature all of a sudden, and is swinging away. The original concept for him was to dual wield and just abuse the heck out of Giant's Growth, because D6 plus a D4, he gets temporary hit points on top of it, and a 5-foot extra reach while teleporting around. Just sounds like so much fun. Now, it does become less important when you do get Psionic Weapon later on, because that's all focused around one weapon, not two. So, that's why I say it kind of depends on how you want to build your character. The fighting style is so adaptive. Now, going on from there, Bestial Form at level 3. I take that one because there's fantastic buffs in there that allow you to breathe underwater, allow you to fly, allow you to gain armor. So, +2 armor. It allows you to, if you don't have a melee weapon, turn your hands into melee weapons. It's very useful overall. There's a lot of really good abilities. And also it lets him have advantage on dealing with the fuzzy little creatures. So that's one of my favorite ones. Psionic Weapon would be the next one I take. That's where dual wielding becomes far less important. And you can get a smite-like ability in there. And the ability to make your single one-handed weapon a +3. Now, if you have two weapons, like say you have a Sunblade, or a Rapier +1, or whatever it is, and you get a dagger in the other hand, you can cast a +3 weapon on that, and that's still going to make up for the fact that you don't have the extra dual wielding. So that's a really nice concept there too. And will still make up for everything. After that, honestly, everything is pretty however you want to do it. The core parts and ideas of the character is already built at that point. Everything else is flavor. So, Nomadic Mind, I love it because you can change your skill to any skill as a bonus action. All you have to do is focus on it. Any skill. So, if you don't have a rogue in the group, that's actually probably one you want to take sooner. I'd probably take it over Adaptive Body and switch it around. Because if you need a tools kit, Thieves Toolkit, you need a Thieves Toolkit. Need. So, like I said, this character is a very fun character, very adaptive, and teleports around slashing with scimitars. What's not to love? Thank you very much, trainees, for watching my character creation edition of Snib, the making of my fantastic little teleporting goblin. Please, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up so I know you like this type of content and I can keep bringing it to you. Make sure to subscribe and click that little bell to continue to get notifications on when we post. And until next time, trainees, keep gaming.